Let's put the crisis in Gaza in perspective. We turn to James Gelvin in Los Angeles. He is a professor of modern Middle East history at UCLA. He is also the author of The Arab Uprisings, What Everyone Needs to Know. Mr. Gelvin, thanks for joining us here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
First, I want to get your reaction to all the airlines stopping the flights into Ben Gurion Airport. What are the political, if any, implications to this and the repercussions here?
Well, I don't think there are many repercussions to it. I mean, it's a psychological blow clearly to the Israelis. But on the other hand, tourism is down anyway because of the conflict. Anybody who wants to get into Israel can by air can easily do that. You can either fly through Amman or fly through the national carrier El Al. So it's not really all that important, except again for the psychological blow that it gives to the Israelis.
You think there's a little skittishness following what happened in eastern Ukraine?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want to ask you about the UN. You heard on our report that Ban Ki-moon has been going back and forth trying to broker a deal between Israel and in Gaza. Do you think any progress is being made behind the scenes here?
No, it's not going to be the UN. It's not going to be John Kerry. It's not going to be Qatar. It's not going to be Turkey. The key to the whole thing lies with the Egyptians. The Egyptians are letting actually Gaza bleed at the present time. They're letting Hamas be degraded. They have no love for Hamas. But at a certain time, what they're going to have to do is, in order to stop the fighting, in order to get a ceasefire, is they're going to have to make a deal better than the one that they offered before. And that deal will have to include opening up the Rafah crossing that will diminish the economic blockade of Gaza Strip.
But how will Egypt get there?
Egypt will decide when Egypt decides. It's as simple as that. And as soon as they do that, then there's no reason for the Hamas to continue fighting on. And once Hamas stops fighting on, there's no reason for the Israelis to continue. The Israelis have the advantage, actually, of not really having a overall strategy. They're doing what they always do, which is called mowing the lawn. The idea of every once in a while they go into Gaza, they degrade Hamas, they degrade the missiles, they degrade the tunnels, and then they go out, wait for another 2 years or so, another provocation, and go back in again.
Privately, though, it appears that the U.S. is growing frustrated by the civilian death toll. Publicly, it's towing the line. What's the tipping point here?
There really is nothing that the United States can do one way or the other. I mean, we've already guaranteed a certain amount of aid. I think it was $47 million of aid to go into the Gaza Strip. But overall, frankly, it's up to the principals involved. And the ball is really in, at the present time, the Egyptian court as to whether or not and when they are going to allow for Rafah to be opened again.
All right, Professor James Gelvin, thank you so much for joining us from Los Angeles.
Thank you for having me.